Millennials, yeah, we back at it again. Versus the world, you know that we gon' win. Right by my side, got my family and kin. Go, K-Dot. MW, man, this podcast is tough. K-Dot like Giannis, he keep it above. Millennials up and we ain't getting stuck. No, they ain't ready, you think we gon' stop? Maryland and DC, we got it on lock. Tune in, we live, and you know we the spot. Panels and parties, you know how we rock. Millennials versus the world. Millennials versus the world. Millennials versus the world.
Millennials versus the world.
Appreciate y'all beautiful black people coming out here. First of all, give a hand to yourselves. Show me love to yourselves. Hey, look, so it wasn't planned like this, but we got the ladies showing love tonight, so we're going to talk our trash. Fellas, it's like 4 of us in here. We got to hold it down for every millennial man right now. You feel me? Every man. No?
Let's get it! Let's get it!
Hey, so, you know, man, we got the Millennials vs. the World podcast, live podcast party, man. Starting from my left to my right. Major salute to the Big Fish Pod. These 2 young ladies are killing the game right now. Carmen and Maya, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Next, we have the one and only Stephanie. Tag is as told by Steph. Super dope soul. Appreciate you coming out. Show major love. You know, when I came to the area from North Carolina, one of the first people to show me major love. I appreciate her. I came on her show. We know she's the one and only Mother Chocolate that's lit beyond DOD. Show her love. You know, one of my fellow millennials showing major love, always supported. She got a hell of a show, doing her thing on the radio. Miss Lise Winnie, what up? All right, so if you watch the pod, y'all already know this is the only place we get authenticity and entertainment at the same time. I like to talk my shit. I'm going to say that right now. And Michael Blackson had a point this week, but we ain't going to have to talk about that out loud. Everybody understand what I'm talking about? So we're going to start with Miss Stephanie. If y'all watch social media, y'all know what's going on. Michael Blackson said it's okay to have a side piece every month. I want to get every month, you know what I'm saying? His lady showed up and was like, hey, look, peep this. She can have another chick, but not another man. Stephanie, I'm going to let you speak on that first. You know what I'm saying? I know you've been spicy about that one, so I'm going to let you go first.
Okay, so my thing is, if I'm a breadwinner too, why can't I have a side nigga every month? If you can have one, I can have one too if I make just as much money as you do. Why not?
Whoa. Say that again, please. I ain't say I agree. I'm just saying say it again.
I said if I'm a breadwinner too, why can't I have a side nigga every month? Just like him.
He don't have a side nigga though.
He has a side bitch. Why can't I have a side bitch?
Why she gotta be a bitch?
She's not the main entree.
Lady.
She's not the
Like, so I don't want to catch y'all the first lady. Can you tap in on that? How y'all feel about that subject about Michael Blackson having a side piece every month? Is it conducive? Can it work?
Did the button work?
Yes.
What they do in their relationship is none of my business. Like, what they agreed on is what they agreed on. Like, and that's okay for them. Is my nigga fucking on a new bitch every month? I don't have a nigga. But if I did, he wouldn't be. No, that's not something we would agree on, no. Unless I'm also fucking on new dick every month. Then sure, that's a mutually agreed upon contract.
So I'm gonna ask the hard question. Do y'all feel like when relationships get growing, the sex gets boring? Do you need that new spice?
Well, for me personally, it's less about new spice, and we were actually just talking about this before the panel started. I think it's okay and acceptable for people to find other people attractive. Like, I hate that we try to paint this narrative that we're only ever going to be attracted to one person. Like, no, that's fine, but like, there has to be open communication about that and about what boundaries you want to set to explore those other things. And like, if somebody else isn't open to exploring those other things, then y'all need to go your separate ways. I think that's where the issue is, not about the fact that somebody finds somebody else attractive or like that they want to explore somebody else sexually. Like, I think that should be more normalized.
What's the married?
That's what Carmen said. I don't know.
You want some new dick?
You don't gotta leave, but you can come back. No?
Wait. So you
I'm not
said,
married though.
I'm the breadwinner too, so I should be able to have a side nigga as well. So the side piece
is strictly attached to the tax bracket?
Great question.
Yes. Yes.
Hold on, why you say yes so fast? I ain't like that yes, so what you mean?
Because a broke nigga can't have a side.
You
So how
can't
much
take
money
care
you gotta have to
of
have a
her.
side though?
You can't take it. If you can't house the woman, if you can't care for the women, you don't
As a
need
son, right?
extra women.
Yeah.
That comes with it. I think that that's a part of it. I think a lot of men want the ideal of it, but when you actually give them what they're asking for, they actually don't want it. It's like, woo, this bitch is too. I gotta get you too. Like it's a lot. I think they want it sexually, but they don't want what comes with actually having multiple wives or whatever.
So you admit y'all do too much, is what you're saying? That's why two don't handle that one. I'm asking. It's a question.
No, I think humans do too much. Men be doing a lot too. Y'all be extra, but y'all be pretending like you not extra. Y'all be acting like
Y'all lazy. Y'all want to get to know a new girl and then put in that effort. That's two different females, two different birthdays, two different anniversaries, two different quality times. You're going to get tired. You're going to get confused one with the other, and it's going to be a problem.
I'm just saying, Stephanie, you ain't got to stare.
Wait, I
You asked the question.
So if you can say that for the one gender, can you say that vice versa though? Shouldn't if everybody was looking for said person, shouldn't we all be focusing? So it's like dating like multiple people is that like a bad thing? If that's the common thought.
Can you sign up for a polygamous relationship?
Polygamy, I mean that's an avenue of relationship. I'm talking about like just dating. Like you explain like, okay, if a man wants to get to know one
Relationship
person
are two different
and
things.
the woman wants to get to know
Dating and relationship are
Like,
two different
can you
things.
tap into that? What you mean when you say that though? Tap into that. What you mean when you say that?
If I'm dating, then I'm dating. That means I'm dating. Like you're not special. I'm not gonna say you're not special, but you're not a priority.
you're trying to get to know.
Exactly. I'm out here trying to get to know different people. In a relationship, it should be me and that person, unless I signed up for a polygamous relationship.
all these stipulations. Oh.
Everybody got their own different.
But that's
Yeah, like you just changed like 4 or 5 times. First it was money, then it was this.
Okay.
Wait, I'm just trying to
So
understand.
she
I'm
said
sorry.
dating means you're out here
Dating is right.
getting to know people. You know, no one is too special, right? And your response was so much stipulations. So
No, my response, because that's what I was getting into. Because she said, okay, Ben try to, talk to this one, this birthday, this one, this day. I was saying, can't the opposite be also said? If a woman was trying to, isn't that more so like I was saying, is that more just like a characteristic thing? Should we not be trying to do that? And not necessarily saying it's men just trying to look, because I mean, if women was dating doing the same thing, wouldn't that be just as complicated? Wouldn't she feel the same strain, or are we not, or does she not feel the same
as long as
strain?
you're open about what you want, like if you are going on a date with somebody and you just want to get food, say that. Don't say we're exclusive to each other. I'm gonna be with you, you're gonna be with me. If you want to do polyandry and you want to have multiple people in different relationships, that's fine. You just need to let the person know that this is my girlfriend over here, this is my girlfriend over here. Honestly, I've never seen it work, except for if you guys actually live in the same house, because otherwise you're taking the money over here, and you got the money over there, and you got the money over there. Like if you're gonna live together, it works. If you don't, I've never seen anybody not get jealous, but I'm not saying that it can't happen. I've just not personally seen it.
So my question would be to you all. Do y'all really, which field is short? Do you think it's not enough good dudes out here or good men out here? I mean, good dudes out here or good women out here? Because I feel like we catch the slack. I feel like we catch the slack for what y'all like to focus on, but that doesn't mean the field isn't as good that you perceive it to be.
it might be equal. It might be equal right now because, no shade to my ladies, but I feel like Instagram and things like that have really, did something to the black woman's mind right now, where people are into things that they wouldn't have been into, like altering their appearance and trying to stay, yes, exactly, like, and it's not giving. You're not being your authentic self. You're being what you think, these men or social media wants you to look like, and you're losing your authenticity. There you go. There you go. So, you know, and that's equivalent to these bum ass niggas out here.
Can you define what a bum ass nigga is though?
Who just are looking for a good time, but there's no real substance.
There's no
in the
priorities
foundation.
None
Like,
of your priorities are straight.
right. Like we
You
can have a
focus
good
on
ass
all
summer.
other things. Focus on your money, focus on your finances, focus on your mental health, focus on getting yourself right before you try to drag a woman into that. Because then we get a lot of jaded women, and then they go and do the same thing to the next man because they're holding on to something that the last man did to them. Focus on yourself first, and then you can bring someone else into your equation. Don't worry about what your homeboy is doing, what club he's going to, what bottle, what section. Focus on you. If you don't got the money, bro, I'm sitting in the house tonight. Yeah. So you can focus on you and have it to give to someone else or share with someone else. You shouldn't be worried about finding anybody else.
All right, so I'm gonna say this because y'all not being honest. It's okay. I'm gonna say this. Okay, go ahead, Carmen. I'm sorry.
It's not a matter of is there like good people out there. You know what I mean? Like good people exist, period. I think what's missing, and the young lady said it here, was intention. It's like if we go out, no one's vulnerable enough to say, hey, I actually just want to eat. Or actually, I actually really like you and want to like take this a step further. That's what's missing. It's like no one wants to lay it out on the table. It's always a game. It's always like, well, I want to play with you, but I also want to play with her, and I want to be serious with you, but I still like to mess around with other girls. So it's good people exist, but no one's setting intention. No one is setting boundaries when it comes to relationships, and that's how you get people, you know, that are jaded and hurt because the intention, the boundary wasn't set from the beginning.
When you set an intention, they have to hold you accountable.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't want to be held accountable.
Exactly.
But let's keep it a stack. If you're in the mindset of I'm newly single, I'm trying to enjoy myself, I'm trying to figure out what I like, what I don't like, I'm trying to have a lit ass hot girl summer. Are you having these type of conversations with every man that you come across?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Some men, you're in that moment having fun. You're not saying, oh, you're really great, but only for dinner. So let's keep it at that, and I'm gonna hang out with this guy. Are you cool with that? Like no one's talking.
You don't need to say your dating schedule. You need to say
Ain't no woman on that stage saying that to no man that you look like.
I think the issue is, I don't think there was ever a shortage of good or bad people. We did that. Because we're never looking for characteristics that make for a good relationship. We're always looking at individual characteristics of this perfect person that does not exist. That is what the issue is. We go into relationships looking for perfection, and that is not what relationships are. People aren't perfect. So we don't look for character traits. We look for something we saw on television or a movie or something somebody said on Instagram or what your mother said. And that's not what makes for a good relationship. So when you say, is there a shortage? Never was a shortage. There are more women than men. That's a fact. That's just a fact. So if technically, yeah, there are more bum ass niggas than there are women because they're just, you know.
So what y'all learn about tonight is, what y'all saying is, if y'all saw a guy, he was cool, he meets some of the requirements, but he not there yet. Y'all saying like, yeah, you know, we cool to go get some food. All five of y'all telling me, y'all telling the man that if y'all want that meal.
I'm doing that right now.
Say again?
I am doing that right now. I am fresh out of a relationship. I'm thotting and bopping. And I've told people I am thotting and bopping.
I know that's right.
Like, why is that bad to be like, yes, I'm out here dating and seeing other people? Like, I don't think that's hard.
That's not. I feel you on that. You can do that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, so when you meet, you know, whoever you quote thotting and bopping with, what you telling me is when you meet the next guy that you like, you telling him straight up like, this is where I'm at in life.
Yes. I met a guy at the club 3 weeks ago. His name is Jakai, not that anybody knows him. But he's super cute, he's super nice, and we both were open about the fact that we're not looking for a relationship right now.
So y'all both are okay with
thotting and bopping? Yes.
But I think that's a little different from saying, I'm just trying to eat some food with you.
I mean, yeah, I don't think that every man has to know your schedule. Like, yeah, I'm eating food with you and I'm going to dinner with Clinton. Like, that's not his business. But is he running down his holes to you?
You just asked
Is Is he running down his hopes to you?
I don't think people want to feel used. Like, you don't want to sit down at the PF Chang's and be like, you know what, I'm just here for the PF Chang's, and then I'm going to go. I just want you to know that. Like, I would probably say that on the phone, and if it doesn't go to that point, you say, hey, I'm not looking for anything serious. I just want to get something to eat. Do you? Like, if you're expecting something more of this, probably not a good fit. So you say that up front, not when you sit at the PF Chang's, because at that point, I'm like, you should be able to choke the shit out you. At that point, if you sit right, he gets a free pass to at least punch you in the titty, because you're sitting there at the PF Chang's saying, no, that's why I'm here. Like, no, we can't do that.
But also, like, the date is not like marriage.
Right.
I mean, like, I don't like the expectation that if I agree to go out with you, like, I owe you something, or I'm yours, or I'm saying yes to the next date. Like, where I'm sitting down because you asked me politely, and I want to get to know you. Or I asked you, and we're going to have this conversation. If I want to do this again, yes. If I don't, no.
So y'all basically saying y'all would ask a man to marry y'all when you say like y'all asked him on a date?
Okay.
I'm asking.
Let's not get carried away here.
What's wrong with that? If I got a question. If things are so 50-50, everybody got jobs and salary, why can't proposals be 50-50?
I would.
Oh, you gotta expand on that.
I would.
You're getting down on one knee.
I don't even want my husband to do that. No, I'm not doing it. But yes, I would propose and ask, say, hey, would you marry me? I have no problem with doing that. And I think women, I don't see any problem with it. If you want to get down on 2 knees, 3 knees, 5 knees, do that, baby. I'm not going to stop you. If he say yes, I'll be, oh, he said he for real? But you can do it. Like, you can drive a car with your feet if you want to. You could do it. It don't mean that it's going to end up into marriage. So that's why I would do it. If I really wanted to get married and things weren't progressing and I wanted it to happen, yes.
Oh, all of a sudden now y'all team.
I'm not nodding in, I'm joining in. I'm nodding in, I've never heard this. I am accepting the words hitting my ears. I've never heard that.
Stephanie, Maya, Carmen, y'all not getting out of that. Go ahead. I want to hear y'all opinion on that.
I don't know if I want to get married, so I don't really have a take on that.
Okay.
I don't think of marriage, no.
Okay, respect. Stephanie, Carmen, what's your thoughts on that?
All I
Not on her, but like just the proposal.
The thought
Not
of me
specific
getting on
on
one
what
knee to ask a man.
I'm not taking on one knee. I'm just saying the proposal piece. Because I feel like the game, and let me say this disclaimer, like minute 15, it's not my personal opinion. I'm speaking for a lot of millennial men right now. You understand what I'm saying? If everything 50-50, why do we get to pick and choose what's 50-50? That's what I'm asking. Like, why do we get to pick and choose where that 50-50 line is drawn?
Relationships aren't 50-50.
I don't think it's ever going to be a standard. Like, there is no standard. It's going to be communication. If I want to pay half for this dinner, I'm going to pay. If I'm going to pay half for rent, I'll pay. It's between me and whoever I'm dealing with. Now, if you that's just me. So if you're dealing with me, I'm not about to ask you to marry me. Absolutely not. And then if you're asking me on a date, my expectation is that you're okay. But that's just me. That's not standard across the board. But I think every situation is different. If someone wants to like say I'm marry you and they have that like goal and confidence to do that, that's up to them. I don't know if there's a standard. Is what I'm trying to get at. There is no like.
Just listening, is anybody in the crowd? Is anybody in the crowd cool with everything being 50-50? Like all the way around being 50-50?
It's not that black and white.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, right to the man. She got something to say.
I was saying that 50-50 is not that black and white. Like, we like to think that, like, a dinner bill, yeah, we can split at 50-50. It's a number. Like, 50% is 50%. It's very easy, black and white, on the black and white. But when it comes to, like, roles and things that I want to take care of for my man or things that I want to take care of for me, like Carmen said, that depends on circumstance. It's different for everybody. So if we go by traditional roles, if a man wants to go to work and wants his woman to stay at home, that's what they want to do, and that's their 50-50. If I want to work and my man wants to work, that's our 50-50. We're bringing in income even if he makes more than me, I make more than him, whatever the case may be. We come home, we split chores, we don't split chores, like, it is what it is. It's just, it's a lot of gray area that I think that when men hear 50-50, they're like, oh, well, women, then y'all expect this and y'all expect that. Okay. But y'all have to remember, too, like, there are certain things that we expect, but there are also a lot of things that we're willing to do. So when it comes to 50-50, it's just, you got to remember the gray area. It is not very set in stone.
Okay, respect. Anybody else got an opinion on 50-50? No, you got one too? You got your hand out? Oh, okay. Oh. You said what? So I think the BS, and again, it's not my personal opinion, I'm just saying, I think the BS in 50-50 is like, so, I'm saying y'all ain't doing all that work and building all these goals and accomplishments for somebody to come in and take care of you. I don't believe that. What I'm saying is, again, this is not the opinion of K.M. I'm speaking for a lot of men right now. What I'm saying is, I don't believe that, I think women have their personal goals. Can we agree on that? Sure. They do things and progress in their careers and stuff. Can we agree on that? So I don't see a woman that's built independence doing that solely because she has to. There has to be a sense of like, this is what she wants. Okay, so I don't think no woman is like coming. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So like it's hard when people say 50-50, like when women say like, oh, I want to be. So a lot of women say no, it can't be 50-50, right? So the question I'm asking is, why do you work so hard for where you got for it not to be that? Like you want somebody to come in and take over. Did you work that hard just because you had to? Or are you? Don't cuss me out. Okay, Mother Chocolate. We got you, Mother Chocolate. Tap in.
So, for example, right?
Okay.
My household is basically 50-50 number-wise, regardless of who is, the breadwinner or whatever.
Okay.
Right now, I am chasing my dreams. Right?
Okay.
And they cost a lot of money.
Okay.
Whereas, my partner may not have dreams that cost so much right now.
Okay.
So I'm busting my ass for the lifestyle that I want for my family and for myself, while he is busting his ass to provide. And eventually, he will provide 100%, like as far as household, and then I will be able to provide 100% of that lifestyle. So it's like she said, each situation, each relationship, each household is different. You're going to have your strengths, you're going to have your weaknesses, and that's all in how that plays out in your household. But at one point when I didn't have a partner, yes, I was busting my ass to provide for myself. And I was hoping that someone would come along and take over that. And now that someone has come to chip in, now I can focus on something else that will, in the end, benefit us all.
Excuse me. Okay.
Teamwork.
All right. Tap in.
So I think that most people are hoping that someone will come in.
Most people or most women? Okay.
I think most people,
I'm just asking.
women,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm finding that some men are hoping that maybe they find a woman who's like, oh God, you're a doctor. Thank God. Woo!
Yeah,
Like, I feel like everybody's looking for somebody to relieve them in some type of way. So, yes.
But I think we should just debunk the idea that if someone decides to stay at home, that's not work.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Exactly. Whether you work or you stay at home. Because if I'm a stay-at-home wife, then I make your house a home. Right. But I don't see a man that's comfortable in saying, okay, my wife is a six-figure earner, let me sit my ass in the house.
But I'm not expecting you to.
I'll take a fine nurse, you know what I'm saying?
If I come home and you're on that video game, and you ain't doing
Everything taken care of.
and that kitchen is dirty.
It's a, no.
why we saying
but that's a lot. But that's a lot of times. That's why men don't want to even do 50-50 because the women who feel she has so outside of the teamwork that she just explained, a lot of women when they feel like they have a stance, they assert a certain stance against a man, and to a lot of men, in a certain parameter is very demeaning. You know what I mean? So a lot of men are just like, well, shit, she is paying half, so I gotta put up whatever she's saying. If she's mad about a little thing that blows it up, it don't matter. Like, she's gonna carry it that way because, nigga, she feels just as ball jacking as you.
Is she asserting her stance or is she holding men accountable?
No, that's the thing. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. There's a way to do it.
Bro, let them know, bro. Like, don't even back down.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't even back down.
Everything. Like, it's not. The thing, I feel like the art of really understanding this is you gotta know how to like understand and know when to pick your battles. You gotta like understand watching your tongue and learning when like not everything is worth you going down his neck when you first walk through the door. You see what I mean? Like, so let him drop his shit off, eat first. Now you can tell him, hey, listen, you did fuck some shit up earlier. You know what I mean? But it don't gotta be niggas. Like, come on, like nobody would want to put up with that. And there's a way about going about it that's you gonna always speak your mind, but you don't gotta.
What do you think about that? You've been in the house all day. Drop what bag?
Yeah, you playing video games.
Husband, you should be providing household duties. You should be washing the dishes. You should be doing laundry. The bedroom should be clean. You come in and drop the bag.
Can we actually get a mic out? Yeah.
It ain't no come home and drop the bag. You've been at home all day, so things should be in place. Where's my dinner?
Right. So right now, I understand that.
Yeah. Don't take that, Marcus. Let them know, bro.
I say those things for my stay-at-home husband.
Right. No, I understand that. I'm just gonna say before I acknowledge that statement, we're taking the idea that this man is not doing his job well. But I feel like he's not giving the benefit of the doubt that the nigga can't vacuum. You know what I mean? Like, let's say the nigga is doing it right. It's never looked at the guys like right. It's always looked at the guys of he's not doing everything that women have been saying.
Help you though. 50, so we need to take the 50-50 and throw it out the window. Just throw that bitch.
I'm with it. I don't like 50-50. No, I'm with it.
That is the quickest way to get you single and swiping on Tinder is to always think everything is 50-50. Nothing is 50-50. There are going to be times where it's 100 to 0. There's going to be times where there's 70-30. There's going to be times where there's 20-80. It all depends on what it is, as long as you're giving. It's like a team. You mentioned team, but that's what you need. On a team, when you watch LeBron play, is LeBron always 50-50 with all of his teammates? No. Sometimes he's like, no, you struggling. You struggling over there, AD. I got this. So he comes back. That's what a team is. That is a relationship. So if we stop this, oh, he didn't wash the dishes today. Maybe he gonna wash the dishes tomorrow. Or you talk to him and let him know, hey, I'm going to work every day. I need you to wash the dishes so that you're doing this. And I appreciate the things that you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing in the house. I recognize you. That is what you need to do in a relationship. Everything don't need to be monetary and everything doesn't need to be 50-50.
Yeah. All right, we got an opinion right here in the audience.
On the way to 50-50. I think realistically, it's 100-100.
Yep. Yes.
You put in your all, he puts in his all. Because at the end of the day, you guys are creating a life together. So what life you created for yourself, he creates that life for himself. You guys are creating a life for each other. Like you put, it's 100-100.
Correct. That's just.
So I'm going to let him say. I don't even need the mic to say the shit I'm about to say right here. This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't think, because I appreciate y'all opinions, everybody's. You know what I'm saying. But personally, I don't think no woman naturally wants. I don't want to say be responsible. I feel like every woman wants to feel secure and taken care of. So like I don't think 50-50, 100-100. That's all sounds good. But at the end of the day, a woman needs to feel financially, physically secure, all that great stuff, right? And I don't think that's really a 50-50 thing. I feel like dudes, this is what I'm gonna say. The reason why we have so much, it's not what I'm gonna say. What I'm saying is, I feel like any dude that really loves you goes above and beyond to make sure you have everything you need, right? But when we do that, I don't think when they're really moving like that, it may be realizing that at a lot of times a guy is going 100% because we're gonna tap into this too. He can't be emotional because you like, damn, you doing it, but you whining. So it's a lot of times that a dude take on a lot that he can't really express like that. Because y'all know good and well, if he bitching too much, y'all don't want to deal with that. And that's just facts.
What's the difference between emotional and what's
All right, what's the difference? What's the difference? I feel like if a man, I feel like. No, but what I'm saying with the emotional piece, what I'm saying is this: if she mad enough, it don't matter what you speak on, you bitching. If she mad enough. Because I don't think any woman wants to hear an express. I don't think we talk about 50-50, right? I don't think any woman wants a man. They say, you know, to speak your feelings. A dude can't do that all the time, straight up. I don't think that, but I think I'm saying this. It's certain stuff as a man. It's certain stuff as a man. You gotta take on the chin. It's certain stuff you gotta take on the chin. You're not coming home every time something get hard. You're not coming home laying down talking about it. You don't want to hear that. Don't no woman want to hear that all the time. Because if you take, I'm just saying, if you take care of business and you're doing everything you gotta do, don't no woman want to hear you come talk about it all the time. That's all I'm saying.
Can I ask you a question?
Hold it down, y'all. Hold it down for me. Appreciate y'all.
Can you tell us one thing that, or on behalf of men, that you feel like men cannot communicate? Like just an example of something that you feel like a female would call it whining or whatever the case may be when really you're just expressing yourself.
Okay, can I say the mic really quick? So that was a great question. I'm not going to say, I can't say anything specific, but I do feel like there's a limit to how much you need to talk about what you're going through. As a guy, straight up, like if you talk about certain things, you say certain things, there's a limit. Like, all right, that's enough. What you gonna do about it? Now, if you going through whatever you're going through as a woman, I feel like as men, we'll sit there and you have the right to talk out whatever you're going through all the time. Do y'all do it? No. But as a dude, I don't think you're sitting there, like, mentally for us, if you hear it come out your mouth a certain amount of time, like, bro, let me stop talking about that.
Yeah, but that's internalized.
And I'm not doubting that, but I'm not running away from that. But what I'm saying is, I do think in the culture we're in, if a dude expresses everything he goes through all the time, it could be overwhelming.
For real. Nobody want to hear it. Nobody listen.
We need to change the culture.
I agree.
Yeah.
Do we
potentially feel like
to change the culture?
Do we potentially feel like that may be a generational thing? I know that this is a heavily like.
Hold it down, y'all. Hold it down for production. Hold it down for me.
I know that there's a lot of millennials in the room. Big Fish Podcast is specifically a Zillennial podcast. I am on the cusp of a Gen Zer and a millennial. Carmen is a Gen Zer. And like with our generation specifically, like we are very into mental health and folks communicating and expressing themselves. So like you saying that is your experience and it may be also your experience as a millennial black man, but us dating like Gen Z black men.
You talking about Jakat?
Oh, no.
Okay. And to that point though, who were they raised by? I think we can.
No, that is a good point because
that's also sad that you feel that way.
That was my immediate.
Nobody in here was like, yeah, you a bitch. Like, no, we want to hear what you got to say.
But you're playing what you feel like is your masculine role in that relationship. Like, I feel like some men and some people in general have their own vision of what masculine is.
That's a good point.
Like sometimes when, say you're dealing with someone and they're transitioning from like teenage to grown man, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, I want to feel that grown man from you, and they start getting mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they think it's just in your tone. Whereas some men feel like they gotta bust their ass, never complain, and just make sure that food and them nails are done, whatever, and just not express themselves. I feel like that's an older millennial type of thing.
Oh, so let me ask this then. To that point though, do you think to that point, and I feel everything you saying was 100% facts. I agree with all that. But do you think there's also a residual effect of women from that before millennials, that where their man didn't express a lot, just come home, work, don't say nothing? where they're not receptive to all the conversation because they're not raising their daughters to be that way. You understand what I'm saying? So I think when dudes do get it, so we're not talking about every day like I had a hard day at work shit. We're not talking about that. You feel me? We're talking about like can we agree on one thing? If you're with a dude, if the house blows up and everything goes to shit, it's his fault. Society says that. Can we agree with that?
No.
I said society says that.
As a marriage, if the marriage goes to shit, it's the husband's fault.
Like the husband didn't keep it together.
Like if my house got foreclosed on today, it's like damn.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is society's gonna say like why wasn't he handling biz the way he should have? You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is we can't eliminate the societal pressures that men face in taking care of his family. Because no matter what, I don't care how 50-50, stay-at-home dad, stay-at-home mom, when something goes wrong, they're going to look at the husband. Yeah. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
So you can't say that same thing and then turn around and say, like, if we explain everything that really happened, you're going to look crazy. You got to take that on the chin. Certain times as a dude, when shit blow up, you take it on the chin. You just do.
I feel like you just discussed two different issues. Because you said if your house blows up, society would feel like it's the man's fault. But we're talking about like your internal relationship and your woman wanting to communicate, like having you communicate more. Mm-hmm. So what society thinks of you and what your woman wants in a relationship are two different things.
But they both play a part though.
I think it plays a part in terms of like, yes, the side effect of society.
She's socialized from society, right?
I think it plays a part in the sense of the side effect of patriarchy is the fact that you think that you cannot express your feelings to a woman, and the fact that women have been taught to think that a man expressing their feelings is a bitch ass nigga. That's where society plays a part.
Is it really patriarchy?
Hey, clarification.
Really patriarchy? We talking about communities. That sounds more like mine than not everybody else's. And we're talking shit to Big Mama.
Hey, Marcus, I got you real quick. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I didn't say express. I didn't say just say anything. I think as a dude, the limit of too much is lowered. Like when you start mentioning too much, it's like, man, what you gonna do about it though? So I got a question now. You might. Oh, nobody else. This is a question for you. I see you thinking Generation Z, Millennial, Baby Boomers, everybody. Why you out there? And this ain't about your kindness. This ain't got nothing to do with your kindness. You know what I'm saying? No, but what I'm saying is though, like say if a dude is depressed, right? And you dealing with him, he loses his job. Y'all watching Insecure Lawrence.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Oh, can I finish? Can I just step in the bag real quick?
I want to eat some stable Lawrence.
Teamwork.
But the point I'm making is when you're in depression, when he was in depression, let's use Lawrence, a perfect example, right? When he was in depression, it comes a point like, all right, nigga, hi, damn. What are you doing?
You want to go. So sometimes the best thing you can do is to step away from them, because at that point they will have to take a look at themselves like, hey, this person left me. Maybe this is something that I need to do in order to get myself off of this sofa, or maybe not. But we cannot sit here and say, for me, personally, I think that everybody, he's absolutely right. Keenan is right. There's a limit. Most people, when they see you laying on the couch, especially a man, let's just keep it 100. If you're a woman and you see a man laying on the couch, you're gonna be like, okay, this motherfucker got 7 days to get the fuck up off my couch before I go get somebody else. Because we feel that, first of all, most women now, we're the most educated, especially black women, we're the most educated subset of anyone right now.
Okay.
So we're starting to get to the point where we don't need a breadwinner. We are the breadwinner. So when we have somebody with us, we want a companion. We want support. We want that openness of a relationship. That's what we want. We don't need you to take care of the bills. We need you as support. So if we see you sit there, most people are going to say no. But let's just keep it 100. She's absolutely correct. Gen Z has changed the game.
Actually.
They are more open to their feelings and emotions. If you do see this is a time where you have the conversation. At that point, if the person is not receptive to doing anything, you might have to leave. Yeah. You cannot sit here and let them hurt you. Your trauma cannot traumatize me.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people fail to realize that. Your trauma doesn't excuse you from hurting me.
And then at what point does the ride or die come in?
You know what I mean?
I got you, Mother Child. Give me 1 second. We got an opinion right here.
Yeah. So I think what is missing that communication. We gotta talk through these things. So obviously, if you and your partner have a healthy relationship and you're communicating, you probably would know that him bumming it out on the couch is maybe him going through a depressive episode. But as someone, and I don't remember who already said, I'm not your therapist. We can go seek out a therapist for you. And of course, therapy and healing and mental health has a lot to do with the person going through it. I can only help you as much as you want to help yourself. So then if it comes to a point where I can no longer help you, I'm leaving. Deuces up. Ride or die. I have too many questions for that. Why are we riding and why do I have to die? Like, I'm not doing that. We're not for that anymore. And yeah, I think, and like Mother said, it might be best for the both of us that we cut the cords and go loose. So that's what I would say.
Hey fellas, one of y'all in the crowd just will let me and him drown the whole night. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing. The whole night. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing. Okay, you got a thing here, bro. Go ahead, take it, man. Go ahead, go. Yes, sir. Yeah. Let them know it.
I wasn't gonna say anything. You guys gotta communicate. It's 2022. Everybody wants like how it was in 1955 when the house was $16,000 and you were making $10,000. It's not gonna work like that. I think if you were to get married, it is like a team where you guys have to figure out what works best so that both of you guys can advance and succeed and actually come home and be happy. So if you're like the man and you're taking care of everything, but you see your girl like living it up and you're over here, you can't even get a shape up. You're gonna be resentful and you're gonna hate that bitch.
Yeah.
She will. So
that bitch. You'll be proud. I did that.
You'll be proud, but then you'll be looking at her like, yo, one meal she misses and she's gotta go. But as far as men, sharing our feelings with our significant other, a lot of the times, I think we hold back on doing that, and I told this to somebody earlier this evening. We share how we feel, and then we end up upsetting them, and then we're dealing with them being upset, and now we're like, yo, it's not about you, it's about how I feel. So sometimes that's how it is, so that's all I'll say, and I don't want to say anything ever again.
Alright, now. I got you. Good job, good job. Appreciate you, bro. That's my brother. Appreciate you. But he just said my point. When you hear all that yakety yak, you stop sharing because it's like, bro, you upset. I'm not gonna make you upset. But my next question I want to ask to kind of transition off of relationships and stuff like that. I hear us talk about mental health, therapy, and things of that nature. How do y'all feel about like supporting? Let's get out of the relationship bag and kind of get in the friend bag. Like, how do y'all feel about supporting a friend when you know they need professional help, but they're kind of still leaning on you? How do y'all feel about that exchange?
I've tried it, and it turns into a toxic situation sometimes. Because you're trying to be that open ear that they want to lean on often, and then when you give advice that they don't want to hear, it becomes a situation where you're getting yelled at because you offer 2 cents that they didn't want you to give. So I can't be your therapist. I can be there for you sometimes, but I'm not your therapist. So if you need professional help, I'll help you find one. And I can listen sometimes, but sometimes when my friends are venting, they just want somebody to listen, and I don't give my 2 cents. And I do that often. And when you ask me for my opinion, then I'll give it to you. If you don't ask me, I'm not offering it. Because then if you take my advice and it doesn't work the way you want it to, then me and you are beefing, and I don't have time for that.
Okay. Respect. Anybody else? What's y'all thoughts on that?
I'm not gonna lie. If you're my close friend, I'm probably gonna let you drain me.
Yeah. I respect
and
that.
Listen, because who said that?
Who said that?
Yes.
Go ahead, Angel. I see you, girl. Salute.
To me, that makes me feel like a good friend. That makes me feel like I'm being there for you. You're in a moment of, being lost and confused and hurt or whatever. And sometimes comfort comes in talking to someone that you know and not a stranger. And so I feel like I am good at listening unbiasedly and, offering a different perspective. But sometimes after talking to these people, I'm not in such a good place, but I feel like I could get over it quicker than them. So that's why I keep subjecting myself. But if you're someone that is just maybe new in my life or we're not that close, I'll probably stop picking up. I'm not even gonna lie.
See, but you said 2 key words. You said my close friend, and you said I'll be willing to listen. You're not giving the steps a therapist would give for action.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm gonna try my best. I can't just, I'm not one of those where you tell me a fucked up story and I'm just like,
that's crazy.
It's a lot of those.
I can't, because for me, when someone does that to me, I know you did not listen to anything I just said. You know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, do you even like me? If that's your response. So I'm gonna try and come, with my best foot forward. But I feel like that could also be a flaw in my personality because that could weigh a lot.
I don't think it's a flaw. I think it's human. I think it's a human trait for people to want to help other people. Yeah. But I think that's another thing. Being a friend doesn't mean carrying your weight.
Yeah.
We do have to be able to put that back on the other person because you can only carry that weight but so long before you drain, like you said, drain you. When your battery's depleted, where they going?
Yeah.
They need you. So that's the same thing with parents. Like you cannot allow you to be drained. You can't take care of nobody when you can't take care of yourself. So if the person needs help, you have to be able to say that. That's a hard, I've been there. That's a hard conversation to say that I love you, I'm listening to you, I'm here for you, but I can't help you.
Yeah.
And so there's somebody else out here that is better able to help you. Yeah. And that's a hard conversation.
Respect. Hold it down with Generation Z, Mike. I see you thinking, girl. Go ahead. Let it go. Do it for Jakat.
All of my friends have therapists because I think that unsolicited advice is kind of disrespectful. I'm like, do you want me to listen or do you want my opinion?
And it's harmful.
And it can be detrimental fast. But in general, I also agree with you about not depleting yourself. I work full time, I run a business, I go to school, I take care of my entire family at 26. I don't have time to...
Respect. No, can we get a hand for that right here?
I can't deplete myself. So I have to be cognizant of what I'm giving my energy to. But also, like, I'm human, I go through my own personal shit. So constant negative energy from other people also isn't just helpful for me as somebody who also wants to be healthy mentally. So I hope that answers the question. But a lot of my friends have therapists, and I always just ask, like, do you want my advice or do you want me to just listen?
Was there a transition in your way of thinking? Did you always come up with this frame of mind, or was there a certain experience that transitioned your thinking to this?
I got a lot of unsolicited advice. I got a lot of, whether it was about my nigga, whether it was about what I was doing with my life, whether it was about my clothes, whether it was about the wig that I had on that day. I got a lot of unsolicited advice. And I'm like, damn, I ain't really asked these niggas for none of their opinion. Yeah. So I just started asking people, like, do you want me to say something, or you just here to get your shit off? And sometimes people just want to get their shit off.
Yeah. I need some Gen Z friends, I
Yeah.
think.
Gen Z friends. Yeah. So I guess the next question in the conversation would be, I guess we're gonna jump between friendships and relationships. So let me ask this. This is kind of like both. Does your friends, and you know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't lie the whole night, but y'all been lying for like 35 or 50 minutes. The 15 been straight. Does your friends and family have to accept who you're with?
No.
I'm just asking a question.
No.
What you say, Carmen?
I'm just wondering why she left me. Because everybody always hates me because I fuck with. That's all.
You cannot please everybody.
Hold on, but it's not so can it be conducive? Can that relationship work?
The only people that I honestly need to be on board, if you will, is my parents. Okay. If my mom and dad are good, I'm good. My sisters will eventually fall in line. My brother, I mean, as long as he's not beating my ass, then, you know, he's probably all right too.
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to really get in my business too much.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, your friends and extended family, everyone's always going to have an opinion. How are you going to please all those people with one person? That's a lot.
Well, I'm a Pisces and I care what other people think about me. So, not that they have to approve, but it's definitely like, if they don't approve, I'm like, okay, I guess I gotta stop. That's just me.
Does it flood into the relationship when they don't like that you caring about what they think about? Does that affect the relationship between you and that person?
It just might be a matter of like, if I present you or not. It might just be a sneaky situation.
Got you.
know?
Respect.
But that's just me. Again, that's just me.
So, if can I ask you a question? If it got to the point where you guys love each other, you gonna stay? Yeah, like, are you gonna stay sneaky forever, or are you
I mean, it might just
eventually?
be a situation where like I have to be like, look guys, like I really like this person. I really want you to like see their heart, that type of thing.
You'll try to change them.
Yeah, but I'm also just would like my life to be more private. Like it's just not everyone needs to know who I'm dealing with and all that stuff. Because I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah.
So, and then it's like, so how's it going?
Yes.
I don't know. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out. So, that to the friendship part, like, there's only certain people that I tell my full situation to, because it's, like, a lot to keep up with.
Yeah.
But to your point, like, if I do love them, it'll just be a situation where I, like, sit them down and, like, I think this might be something, and I really want you to get to know them. But until then, it's definitely private and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, we got an opinion.
No. Hi, y'all.
What's up, now?
Out there, ladies. Yes, indeed.
How much they been lying? Tell the truth now.
Not 0%.
Okay, I got you. That's toxic.
I just wanted to go along. You were saying you feel like you might be by yourself. I'm along the lines of what you said also about your immediate. I would like to include even my closest friends. I think that the people around you, if you have good people around you, then they can show you something that you may not see. And although you might love the person, your heart is a bit filthy too. And it wants things, you know, it wants what it sees or whatever, but it may not always be the best thing for you. And so my family, or like you said, your closest, mom, dad, I'm going to say my best friend, and a few of the people that's closest to me, if they have an issue, then I'm going to, you know, reevaluate, because ultimately it's going to affect both the relationships. If you guys don't like my guy, then he's not going to feel comfortable coming around my family. Now I can't come around my family. Or now I'm battling between the two. All right, am I going to hang with him because he can't go to my mother's house today? So it would be ideal for me that my immediates, my closest friends as well. I have good friends. I line my friends up with my morals and my integrity, so I don't have to worry about them sneaking and tricking and lying. So, you know, I agree that your friends and your family should enjoy the person that you're with, because y'all gonna do life together eventually if it goes to that point. So that's it for me.
Okay, go ahead, girl. At least somebody ain't lied tonight.
I like it, though. Yeah, they already went at it. I was gonna say, who helps y'all vet these men? Like, who helps, like, you know, like, yeah, people help me vet. But she leaned onto it, and she leaned into it, so I like it. Yeah.
That's a great point, though.
Yeah, she did. It was amazing because, you know, I mean, you need help with, you know, being able to look at people sometimes, and, you know, you want what you want, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can be.
You let some shit slide, yeah.
You don't see some of the flaws that other people will see on the outside. At the same time, you do have to watch it, though, because sometimes people don't like your spouse because of stuff you say. So you tell them why.
Yeah, sharing too much is a thing now. I tell them every time they fuck.
Hey, you don't tell nobody nothing, in my opinion. You don't tell nothing.
It don't gotta be the big
millennials, baby. Feel me? Don't say nothing. Burn it down. I got real quick. Hey, you feel me? Hey, real quick question though. So I know this is gonna get spicy, but I gotta ask this question. It's kind of not a good transition, but I gotta ask.
Fuck it.
So we've been talking about Lawrence, talking about like the therapist thing. I know my generation. Shout out to Big Fish. I've been holding it down for Generation Z because I'm gonna give y'all that. So is cheating a death sentence in a relationship?
Yes. No.
Who said no? She go first.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
This is my opinion. It's like an asshole. Everybody got one.
Okay.
So I don't think that it's necessarily the end of the relationship depending upon how it's communicated. So if you find out that somebody cheats on you and you are able to kind of like talk through it and figure out why that happened and they're open and honest about it, then you can work past it. And then at that point, the person who has cheated has to be completely an open book. The issue becomes that person wants to be closed off again. So in that situation, no, it can't work. Because once you've broken my trust, you cannot say that I still have all this right to unfortunately, to do whatever the hell I want at that point, because you've broken the trust. So I think it depends on the communication and whether or not the person who actually did cheat is willing to be open about it, and the person that forgives actually does that. So if you say, I forgive you, then you have to let it go. You cannot keep bringing that back up when he don't wash the dishes. Like, you remember that time you cheated with that girl? Like, you can't do that. You gotta let it go.
I'm not gonna ask that question. Y'all go down the line real quick. No, I'm gonna wait. Okay.
There's a difference between, babe, I had sex with somebody, I was drunk, and there's another thing where you're cultivating a relationship, getting to know another female. You're giving her something that you don't give me anymore.
Okay.
Then I have to leave because you're pouring into that cup. You're not pouring into mine anymore. So why am I here?
Got you. Okay. You know I'm gonna go down the line. Go ahead, Maya. I say, go ahead, girl. Go ahead, hit us with it. You've been coming that fire all night.
Tell us what Gen Z would do.
Yeah.
I don't know what Gen Z would do. I don't think it has to be a deal breaker.
Marriage.
Probably.
Gen Z being an open marriage.
Low key.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it has to be a deal breaker. I think what a lot of these other ladies said rings true. I also think, back to my earlier point, that needs to be normalized a bit more about like other people potentially being a part of the relationship. In terms of like folks finding other people attractive. Like that's
not
normal.
being a part of a relationship. I won't even say nothing.
Well, that's normal for people to find other people attractive. To like.
Can you explain we need to normalize being
Sorry,
other people
to clarify, we
being
need
a part
to
of the relationship?
normalize the fact that we are going to find other people attractive.
Oh.
That our minds could potentially wonder.
Yeah.
So that's not what I said originally, yes, I apologize. I don't think that it has to be a deal breaker. I think for me it is though.
Okay.
I've been cheated on and I've tried to stay. And I am the person that like makes slick comments every time like it comes up. Like if there's a cheating scene like in the movie, I was like, remember? Like, and I would do that. And I did this shit on purpose because like I wanted him to feel bad, like how I felt. And is that healthy? No. Like should I have left? Yes. But that's the reason why I can't stay. But do I think other people can stay if it makes sense for them? Yeah, that's their prerogative.
Okay. Carmen, you got an opinion on that?
A simple answer, I'm leaving. But for the longer answer, I think it depends on the person if that's like your threshold. Like for example, I'm just going to bring it to church, amen. So God, when you think about like sin, a lot of people put degrees to sin, right? Like if you kill someone versus you lying. People are like, well, of course, killing someone is worse than lying, but God actually sees it all the same. So if you think like cheating is one of those boundaries where it's worse than him like lying to you or worse than him maybe gaslighting you, then figure it out. If cheating is not your deal breaker, figure it out. For me, it would be humiliating, and for me to be with someone who humiliated me, I can forgive them, but I'm not going to rekindle something if after you've done that to me. It's like for me, I have to walk away. But that's just me.
Do y'all believe in if you embarrass me in public, apologize in public? You know, like,
yes.
You know, like when people get, y'all know, like when people get, let me start. It's like what? You know, like if somebody, if somebody gets caught cheating and it breaks the internet, do you feel like the person that they were cheating on, they owe them a public apology because they got caught?
It's not a requirement, but it would be nice because.
That's all good. They ain't gonna talk no shit to me. Say what you got to say. I'm going right here in the red. What you say? What's your name, young lady? What's your name? What you say?
Hold on. I just laughed.
Oh, okay. Now she's scared.
Yeah, so.
I'm just joking with y'all.
You don't need to put that on the internet. I don't believe that.
I'm not, but okay. So I'm not necessarily. Okay, so I guess public automatically insinuated.
So he yell at you at the Walmart. He's supposed to go back to the Walmart and.
Nah, what I'm saying is.
Like if you're a public figure.
I'm gonna say this. Let's take it out of public figure, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm getting ate alive right now, and all y'all niggas in the room letting me die. It's cool. So what I'm saying is, if I think what I'm asking is if people find out, like maybe family, friends, should there be some type of apology where those same people can see that you're trying to mend it, or should even if they find out and
It's giving performative.
Huh?
It's giving performative. Yeah.
Okay, all right,
It's a good question. Hold on real quick. We got somebody in the crowd.
Oh, okay, well, in those situations, I don't need you to apologize to me in public. Take me to the mall, okay, buy me a bag and buy me a car. That's how it's gonna be.
Get 'em.
That's how he was forgiven. And that's how, I don't need you to do all that other stuff. I don't need it. Not immaterial.
I feel like it's those outside people, like maybe it's the public eye or whoever witnessed that thing that is looking for that apology, not necessarily the partner. Because we're gonna go home, we're gonna dissect this, we're gonna discuss it, we're gonna get to the bottom of it and be good. But then you might link back up with some of the people that were there, and they're like, "Oh, so your nigga's not gonna what?"
Okay, respect. So do you think that if he cheated on you, he owes your friend an apology? Even though he
I'm gonna get right back. I got it.
No. Like what I'm saying, like with the yelling in Walmart. Like say me and my nigga are into it, and he screams at me really bad, and two of my friends are there.
Okay.
They hear the screaming. Now they hate him because he's aggressive. He yells at you. He does this, and that just lets us know that this and this is probably happening. Like you know how shit can snowball.
Right.
So now they might be looking for a conversation from your nigga to make them feel better about your relationship.
Okay. In that situation, that makes sense because he yelled at them in front of you, so he actually does owe them an apology.
He yelled at you in front of them,
which is still disrespectful.
Yeah.
But that's also manipulative, right? Like if he's like saying sorry in public or whatever, it's almost like forcing you to forgive. Like it's just very manipulative.
Like when Offset pulled up to Cardi B on stage.
Yeah.
Don't pull up to my job.
That's expressing my feelings. You see what I'm saying?
But now,
you see what I'm saying? Thank you. That's expressing my feelings. You see what I'm saying?
No.
Told you.
He was being an opportunist. He was being an opportunist because I can't carry you. I can't carry you in front of all these people. That's just like a nigga who knows he's about to lose his bitch and proposes.
Did he express his feelings?
Okay?
Did he express his feelings?
It doesn't matter.
Can you please answer my question? Did he express his feelings?
But also, can we be
He
clear
said
that
sorry.
if you, let's pause, if he cheated, which he did, it's not about your feelings in that moment. He's in the wrong.
You see what I'm saying? I need my
It's about her and what she needs to get past that. And if she's saying, I need you behind closed doors to be more vulnerable, which is kind of what she said by saying, don't do this shit in front of 30,000 people at my place of employment, then you do what she needs to get past that because you're in the wrong. There's a difference.
Yeah. But the only thing that you need from your partner is change behavior. That's the apology. Change behavior. You can apologize to my friends today, tomorrow, and every day, but still be beating my ass behind closed doors.
Exactly.
So who gives a fuck about beating, lying, cheating, whatever you want to call it, whatever form of abuse you want to give. She's triggered. But that's the only apology I need is change behavior. My friends will be able to see. Once you've changed your behavior, it won't happen again.
Respect.
Right? So you putting on a show and telling my friend sorry and then turning around and dogging me out behind closed doors doesn't do anything for me.
So, and I agree. But can we agree that he was expressing his feelings on stage?
No. I'm sorry.
Hey, this nigga, you know what I'm saying? We can't win. I'm sorry. No, we got an opinion in the audience. I apologize.
I mean, we've kind of gotten past it, but I was just going to say, like... bring it back up. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. But I was just going to say, like, in the sense of, like, if somebody embarrasses you in public, and then they owe somebody an apology, that's none of their business. And the whole theme of this night is about healthy relationships, whether it be with your partner, your friends, your family, communication, and boundaries. Because, exactly, holding people accountable and yourself Because for me and my friends, we talk. It's been times when I can't stand people who my friends are dating, and they can't stand who I'm dating. But at the end of the day, we have that. But I'm saying, like, that's real.
Do you tell your friend? Like, I hate your nigga.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But that's the thing. It's not my business. My thing is, and I've told my friends this before, you're grown. That's your life. That's not my life. I'm not going to judge you. I'm going to support you. This is where I stand. If you're asking for my opinion, this is where I stand. I feel like you can do better in this sense as far as a partner goes. But it's none of my business. You're my friend. I'm here for you. So wherever you decide to take this road, that's none of my business. I'm here. I'm riding with you. I'm not dying with you. You know what I'm saying? But like, we're in it together. That's what I'm saying. It's all about the healthy relationship that you set with people. Like, if you have friends that will judge you, there's a difference between telling your friend how it is and telling them like, yo, like, you need to check this nigga, or you need to check yourself. Versus, what you doing that for? Like, it's a difference between judging them and actually just saying like, hey, like, let me bring this to your attention. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
So I feel like when it comes to bringing other people, not bringing other people into your relationship, but letting other people dictate your decisions in your relationship, as far as like, if my man yells at me or raises his voice, you don't know what we do behind closed doors. That could be the one time that he's ever raised his voice at me. You don't know that. How would you know that? So my man does not owe you shit.
Oh, come on.
I don't owe you
your
shit.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
So you can either deal with yourself and accept the fact that we've moved past it as a couple, or be mad about it, but be done with it. Be mad, but be done.
Respect.
You just can't invest so much emotion in a situation that has nothing to do with you. Like, at the end of the day, that relationship is gonna keep going whether I hate you, whether I like you. So honestly, as long as, whether it's my sisters, my friends, whatever, as long as your partner is not disrespecting me or disrespecting you in front of me where you're visibly, upset or something like that, I'm not even invested enough to say I hate him or if I love him, yeah, I'm gonna express that, but it would never go so far on the other side to allow myself, because that then makes it uncomfortable for you. Can you imagine bringing someone around your friends that you know are looking at him like, ugh, this nigga? Like, you know what I mean? I'd rather you just not tell me, because now if I start hanging out with you less or something, that might communicate something to you that that wasn't my intention.
Actually.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But at the same time, I love my nigga. I'm gonna chill with my nigga.
So, and I agree with all those opinions for real. So the last subject before we close it out, we'll get back to the party and the drinking and the music. Oh, you got something real quick? Real quick, you want to add to that? Then we're gonna move on. I got you. Go ahead.
I just feel as if that in that scenario, when your friends don't, whatever, it's really nothing you can do and or say, and that is what then would cause the boundary of, it's your life, it is what you want to do. Because you can say what you want to say about that person, but it's kind of like they have to go through that cycle of the relationship or whatever, or, and then also too, it could be that one instance, it could be from your angle, they are the person that's dating them or whatever. So I feel like it does, that it should be something where it doesn't hold that much weight, or it's just something to add to the bigger picture, but not to be the final say, like, oh, my friend Karen thinks that you stink, whatever, that, because it's like, even if you were to say something to that friend, they're gonna be like, girl, yeah, exactly. I love him. That's my name. Yeah.
So coming down the home stretch here, I'm gonna ask this, and I know these responses are gonna get lengthy, but I do want to ask this. It's an impromptu question. What do y'all feel like is the biggest war that you all black queens are facing? What do you think one of the biggest wars? Like, y'all, it ain't gotta be, it ain't gotta be. I don't want to say personally, but like, it don't have to be anything that y'all feel like is really big for you all right now, whether it's the creative space, being an entrepreneur, whether it's corporate America, whether it's relationships, navigating as moms, the things you don't get in hospitals, how they treat you. Like, what do y'all think some of the biggest things that are misunderstood from the rest of society?
About black women?
Yes. Or like some things that y'all struggle with.
We starting down there and working our way up?
Let's start this way. We started left side, so we can start this way and then go on down.
I mean, that's a loaded question. There's
It
a
is.
lot
I know,
of
but
things.
it made me think about it when I heard all these opinions, so I just want to...
There's a lot of things, but for me, I think right now the most pressing issue that I think is impacting everything right now is the inflation and what's going on politically, because it really impacts every part of our lives, especially like gas is about to be like $7, $8 a gallon. You can't do anything. You're losing your 401k. We're never going to be able to retire. It's just a mess. So for me, I think that finding better ways to be able to invest and being open to networking, and I think even, this is something I don't know if you mentioned, even trying to find, we were going to talk about that, friendships.
Yes.
Because there's in friendships, there's networking, and I think that that's a breakdown too. So for me, it's really getting the economic piece together and helping out where you can with other people and trying to network, if that makes any sense. So I just combined everything.
Absolutely.
For me, it would be respect. Respect in relationships, respect in friendships, respect in the workplace. I just feel like as a black woman in all of those lanes, I've had to like fight so much for something that I feel like should come naturally. Or if I'm visibly showing my hard work, my attentiveness, my determination, why can't that speak for me? Like you just have to go through so much as a black woman. Even like you said in healthcare, just saying, I don't feel well. That's not enough. When there was a time where I had to go to the emergency room and, I had to put on a show for my pain. And my boyfriend is looking at me like, sit down. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, if I don't do this, they will not help me. When they give us a scale of 1 to 10, I have to say 15. I don't use the range that they give me. I multiply it by 3. Is that what J. Cole says?
Gotcha.
Yep. That's what you have to do because, this strong black woman thing, I think Taraji touched on this. Like, the world runs with it. No, I cannot withstand everything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a human being before anything. So, just that respect.
Stephanie?
I would say a little bit of respect, but I would say more so being vulnerable and being able to open up and saying what you need as black people. Because I could say what I need to my employer, right? Let's say, for example, there's something that I'm not getting at work, and I need to be vulnerable to my employer to say that. I come off with passion, it comes off to them as aggression. So being as a black person, I'm not going to say woman or man, being able to be vulnerable and saying what you need comes off very hard for us. Because we're perceived as either too aggressive, whiny, or dramatic. So I feel like as a people, just being able to communicate how you actually feel without it looking like you're whining or bitching, you know what I'm saying, is very hard nowadays.
Gotcha. It's Maya.
I think I would say one of the challenges is trying to balance loving and encouraging black men while also holding them accountable. Black women are knowingly the starters of a lot of movements that have progressed the society forward, and have fundamentally been on the ground on a lot of protests, etc. But I feel like it's also still kind of hard for us sometimes to be put in a space where we have to hold somebody that we consider a counterpart who's also going through these struggles with us accountable for things.
For sure.
I think an example of that would be Kevin Samuels, the fact that there was a lot of talk on Twitter about black women who weren't necessarily saying rest in peace when that man didn't bring any peace upon black women, and it's every black woman's right to not want to. Not wishing death. There's a difference between...
they praised his death.
There's a difference between
praising them and simply not saying, there's a difference between praising them and simply not saying anything about it.
Hey, we're going to table that one. We're going to table that one. R.I.P.
Yeah, we're going to table that
We're
one.
gonna table that
I am
one.
not saying that anybody should be praising or promoting death, but what I am saying is that if I'm choosing to not say rest in peace, that should be okay. Because he did not bring any peace to black women. He built an entire platform off of embarrassing black women. And Malcolm X said the most disrespected person in America is a black woman, and sometimes by black men. And that can be hard for us to deal with, if that makes sense.
No, it does. Absolute
Okay.
respect. Absolute respect.
Hopefully that was helpful.
It was. It was.
You asked that question, and I literally just thought of all the things that I worry about, from Roe v. Wade possibly getting overturned, my reproductive health, me questioning if I even want to have children because the mortality rate for black women is astronomically crazier than any other race. So I think of all the things that are plaguing us, from everything that everyone said here, but just as society as a whole, black women are dying for nothing really, for asking for help, and they didn't get it properly. So yeah, it's really all the things like that plus what everyone else said.
Absolute salute. So first and foremost, can we give it up for this dope panelist, ladies and gentlemen? You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna keep the conversation going. Millennials versus
Millennials, yeah, we back at